All right, working on a 1999 Ford F1. I said F-150. This is a 1999 Ford Explorer. 1999. All right, what I got going on, the customer complaint was the AC wasn't working that well. I get into it, assess it, AC works. It's just, I guess, not cool as probably she would like it. But around here right now, it's about 94 degrees. So I start looking around, check the pressures, check the compressor's new, the receiver dryer is brand new, and here we are with the blend door actuator. Now I looked for the actuator because I know some of these controls are vacuum operated, such as the modes. Those are vacuum operated. This is electronically operated. Pulled the glove box down. This was out. The actuator was out. This is what I'm left with. They put a string there and loops around. Alright. So I'm like, no big deal. No big deal. Pull my wiring diagram. I'm hooked up on the blue and I want to say green and orange wire. That's what controls the motor. Start looking for climate control operation. I go here, push. Where's that joker at? Oh, there's the mode there. So I start going up in temperatures. There's no change. Go down, no change. All right, Identifix came and saved my ass on this one. I didn't bring up my scan tool, but there is a diagnostic procedure, and if this module has any fault codes in it regarding the actuator, it's not going to allow it to work. All right, so let me show you how to go through the testing phase. You push the floor and off, and then automatic releasing the floor and off that you initially push and hold in the automatic. You'll go through a reset procedure. I'm going to show you that. Just like that. I think that's about 5 seconds. Look down here now. We actually have voltage. So as it goes through its testing phase, you're going to get a code, and this code was related to the actuator. I might just go on my YouTube channel, pull this apart, and we'll put the longer video up there, see what happens, see if I can get it to work, and just see what happens. So, because it might be seized up. More than likely, that's probably what it is. The motor just seized. Fault code was generated. You do have a position sensor located inside of here, and that being that the motor's not working, the position sensor is not going to work. So yeah, I got code 24. Let me show you what happens. Hit the defrost to clear it. We have operation. My test leads are hooked up backwards. I'm going to activate the system. Still have operation. I'm going to command the it went off, detected the fault when I was commanding the the blend door to actuate, and it just shut down. So pretty much I'm going to need an actuator. I need to find out what's the appropriate one, because this has a gear on the HVAC housing. This doesn't have a gear, and it looked like it should, so I need to find out what needs to go on here and go from there. Yeah, you're gonna have to excuse the noise because it is hot in here. I know one guy told me to use some toothpicks. That is honestly a good idea, but yeah, I'm being impatient right now. I might have to grab something quick. Let me see what I got. Might just be able to cut up some plastic zip tie. First thing my engineering mind could get my hands on. Let's see what happens. gonna work right there. Let off. Yeah, I didn't break anything. So there was no motor operation. I'm just gonna pull the motor out, see if it's locked up. It's not. And it's a possibility the motor just probably need to be moved around a little bit because of how the contact points are. Let's see if it works. Just gonna have to deal with the heat for a little bit. So this right here is pretty much gonna allow me to check the motor because the light should illuminate and bridge the contact points. Oh, it's working. Yeah, the motor works. It's probably just really weak. Let's go back here, put it back in. I was gonna try to test it like I would a blower motor. The contact points through here might have been bad. I can't remember which ones were what. Let me try this. My own continuity test. Okay, that's this, and this should be the neighboring one. And we have operation. So the motor is moving. It's just weak. Let's see if I can zoom out. That moved. Let me go back the other way. It feels strong. I think we should put it back in there and see if it'll work now. I might need to load test the actual circuit that's going to this blend door. It's working now. You can feel it like trying to click like what they normally would do. I think we should put it back in there and see if it'll work. Should I check my other contact point here? Let me do that. So it should have been a neighboring one. This should illuminate. Yep, it's illuminating. Logically it should work unless there's just some bad powers or bad ground or something. Who knows? Let's try it again. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna do the same test and we're gonna take a look at the mode. I keep calling it mode door, blend door. Let me put a reference mark on there. Okay, so we got a mark our orientation here. I'm gonna go through the procedure again and let's see if it works now. If not, then I'll just need to do some sort of power test, a load test. Because before, right now, oh, there you go, it's working. It's just real slow. Let's see if that same code 24 comes up. Because sometimes the motor just needs a little bit of manipulation or the connection is probably just bad. That usually happens. Yeah, so 25. I can't remember if 24 or 25 that was up before. I don't remember. It's still moving though. I know I probably didn't clock it right. I just threw it back in there just to look for operation. I should have marked the orientation. That was totally my fault. Let me clear it. Let me see what happens. I'm just gonna do it one more time. Oh, it needs to be on. See what happens. Okay. So it's starting to move again. You know, one thing, I hope I got footage of it originally not moving. I hope I do. I can't remember if I did. Okay, so there's no codes now. So it's fixed now because it was able to get into its zeroed out position. Let me see what happened when I move it now. Wait a minute, what happened? Okay. Vents, AC. Let me try to. All right, let me turn the heat on. Go back to cold. So it's actually actuating right now. So sometimes, like I say, manipulating a little bit just to encourage the move. We'll get those brushes to clear up whatever gunk that it had on there, whatever load that it probably detected. Now, when it was out and I was administering power, I heard a bump, that binding because of the plastic gears. It might be resolved, but technically this likely just need to be replaced. Again, I don't know what the other gear is. I don't know if it came with another gear, but yeah, this is going to definitely need a new one. Now, if you take yours out, definitely orient the gears in there, so when you put them back in the exact same spot. That's what I should have done. Didn't think much about this because, again, that gear is missing. That should have one on there, but we'll and also, I don't know if you noticed, the bolts are missing. I don't know where those are, so I have no idea how I'm gonna put this back in. It's funny, I'm gonna show you exactly what it was doing because of the string thing on here. Let me see if I can capture it. So as soon as I press the brakes, it caused the blend door to close. That's the lady complaint. So basically, the string that the guy put on there wasn't a great patch job. But I'm going to see about getting this fixed properly. Let me see if I can emulate that one more time for you. So I was in the process of trying to get this old one back in there to see if it works. And unfortunately, it just doesn't. I gotta reclock this gear here. But come to think about it, this actually goes to an old unit. Just come to think about it, because I thought a gear went on here and it just kind of rotates or whatever, but that's not the case. So likely they extracted this out of another blend door and just threw it in there. But this probably would work if I swap this that's loose and put it in the housing with the old one. But I'm just gonna wait till a new one come in. We have it. I'm gonna grab that and then I'll get that installed. Watch me fight to get that back in there, and that's gonna be clocked appropriately versus me having to screw with this old one. So I'm gonna leave this alone for the day. All right, just got back from the parts store. I do have a new unit. The one thing I'm concerned about was, again, the length of the old shaft and the gear that was in there. I'm hoping, I think they're probably the same. Nope, they're not. I was hoping the new one would probably be around the same size. They're not. But here's a new one, and here's the part number for it. They look exactly the same. Wish me luck. like spring out here. I feel like the flat end is at the top, so I might have to turn. I think I got it. Yep. Awesome. I got it. It's sitting there. Now there's a dowel in here. I don't know if I can get some. I should have got screws in there originally. Let me see what I'll do. Let me go through a test procedure before I button it all the way up, just to show you that it works. Alright, let's do this. Alright, here we go. I know it's not going to work now. So let's see here. Let me go through the test procedure. So I have to clear it out. Floor and off. There we go. I'm just going to hold it down, and then I'll be able to control it. We should hear the vents change direction in a way, so I can feel it moving. I'm holding it down. I can feel it. I need to put some screws in here. It would be nice if there were some screws in here that I could put back in there, but I'm gonna have to find some. It's like it's just recalibrating itself to determine its location. Hopefully we should get all those 8s come up, so there's going to be no codes present. It is definitely working. There's a 24 code. Gosh darn it. Let me see what happens. Let me clear it, and I probably could. Let's see here. It's cleared now, so it should work. Let's see what happens. All right. Let me go through the test procedure again, and let's see what happens. Did I get a bad new part or what? Let's see what happens when I cut it on. Feel it moving, but I don't want to say it is or it isn't. I think I can feel it moving. Let me put it back on cold. Let me pull it out and see what it's doing. I just have to. Is it working? See it move. All right, I'm back in. I want to actually get it connected a lot better this time, because I know this was totally my fault. All right, let's go through this again. All right, let's see what happens. The connector's all the way in there now. I know for a fact, because I triple checked myself. Uh-oh. My phone's going low. All right, let's clear it. Let's see if we got operation now. Okay, it's hot. Let's go to cold. Yeah, I can feel it moving. It's not getting cooler though. I might have to get a new one if this one don't work. Yep, that is crazy. Let me stuff the old one in there and see how it responds. As a matter of fact, let's pull it out now. Pull the new one out and see how it works. Because with the code's cleared, it initially should work. Let me see if it rotates. It's on cold. Put it on high. It's not rotating. The new one's not working. Let me put the old one in here. So here's the old one. Let me see. Let's go to the same test. The old one's moving. You cannot be. You got. I can't. This can't be. I got a bad new part. Can't be. The old one is legitimately moving. Now I got code 25 with the old one. The other one I had code 24. Let me clear it. Let me show you that it works. So the new one, the old one's rotating. Yep, you can see it rotating. The new one's not even working. Right out the box. Let me pull this off. Put the new one in here. Let me put a mark on the new one. All right, got a mark on the new one. Let's see how this one works. Go through the same process. And let me see here. Let me do this. Let me come back and we'll see if this new one's gonna work. All right, so with this one, we got code 24. Let's clear it and see if we got some functionality. All right, I'm gonna turn it on high. I got it on hot and it's not even rotating. Put it back on cold, it's not doing anything. Bad new part right out of the box, man. Thanks, Murray. All right, man. I went and got a whole new one, warranty replacement from O'Reilly's, and this one don't even work. Like it's not even rotating. But if I put the old one in there, it's going to rotate. I'm gonna go to AutoZone and grab a new one because so I got code 24 with this newer one. So this is the second new one right out of the box, not working. And I know it's identical. It's an identical part. Let me see here. So I swapped them out even with the newer one, and I'm getting the same thing. I can move and actuate the old one. What in the world is going on with this? I can move and actuate the old one. Yeah, there you go. I can't do it with the new one. I'm gonna pull this apart and see if there's like any difference in the connection, and go from there. Because If I keep having it, I'm just gonna have to go to AutoZone and just get one. Let me see what happens. Let's pull it apart. See if the pins for the motor is on the same location, because when I go get another one, I can check and see if they're on the same pin out. These were neighboring. So the top two here were for the motor. Let's see if they're on the same plane. Top two for the motor. Nope. Pull the ground. These are not the same. I mean, you got one from milliohms to kiloohms. It's work off of a lower voltage system with the processor that's in here. This one doesn't. So probably because I got one maybe that's automatic, but the other one looks totally different. They don't look. One of them has like a tray in there. I'm gonna see if there's another one that's available. We'll get the other one. The other one was like double the price. This was actually cheaper. So I'm gonna have to get the other one and check for, well, I have to check those two pins. Let me see what I get if I put these two together. Get 100 ohms, same as the motor. So probably when I go check for the new one, I could check those two pins and see if I get 100 ohms. And let me do this one and see what I get. I got 9 ohms. I don't have anything other than a third one. Nothing. Let me go to the parts store, see if I can find the one that's compatible. I'm gonna go to AutoZone next, because this came from O'Reilly's. All right, I got a winner here. I know I do for a fact. I'm gonna tell you what mistakes I was making, and hopefully somebody else won't make the same mistake. But what it is, even though I went back to O'Reilly's and got this should be the part number right there. Even though there's a part number. They look the same. This is the one that you'll need. And you simply just gotta take this tray off and it'll look exactly the same. And forgive me because I'm visually I'm not well put together. I'll tend to overlook something real quick. Let me fight to get this off of here. So, all right. So we're gonna check those same pins at the bottom. Should have been these two. I checked it while I was at the parts store. It was making 80 ohms. It's 80 ohms. The other one was making 100. And mind you, I'm checking these at the bottom. There's our shaft there. Those two at the bottom. So we should be good to go. Let's install this and see what happens. I need to see if I can get them to replace this belt too. I put a blue mark on here. I'm just gonna move it without doing anything, see what happens. No. All right, let's go through the test. Push these two. All right, let's see what code comes up. See if we can zoom in on this. We got movement. It is moving. So yes, this is the correct one. Let's see if any codes come up. Okay, we got code 25. That's weird. Let me clear that because that was an old code that was in there anyway. So I'm gonna clear that, and I should be able to freely move this unit here. So I cleared the code, pushing the defrost button, and I'm gonna, yep, I can move it when I change the temperature. So let me get this installed, and I'll let you know how it works. All right, I got everything back installed. I used some self-tapping screws, and they fit right on in there. And I was able to get a 1/4-inch ratchet. Just the screws that I used were 6.5 millimeter. So let's go through a test here and see what happens. This should be the last test because now I can actuate it, tell it where to go. I just want to make sure there's no codes present. It shouldn't be because it's working, but we'll see what happens because it should go through its testing phase. Hopefully it'll synchronize the door, the blend door. So I'm assuming that's what happens when you do the testing with this. Maybe it goes through like an initialization process. Okay, cool. No codes. And let's see what happens. AC. Did it work? Oh, I'm clearing any code just in case. Did I do anything? Okay, here we go. So it should be at 75. I'm gonna go to heat. Oh, I feel it getting hot. Oh yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. This is great. Let's go back to cold. Oh yes, it's getting cold. All right, awesome, cool. Now I'm gonna take this string back out, this noose that was in here, cut that out, and put everything back. I hate that I had to go through all this. It's probably, I bet you it's gonna be like an hour-long video, but hopefully somebody else who goes through this don't make the same mistake I did. And I'm pretty sure this older this truck is, somebody had been through it, but I didn't look on YouTube. But if anything happens, I'll definitely update. Hit the link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to reach my work. See you on the next one.